Good morning. Today, the heart of Washington, D.C. wakes up to a political earthquake that few saw coming. The city is abuzz with reporters and analysts, all focused on the stunning news that John Bolton, the former National Security Advisor, now faces a sweeping set of criminal charges. The indictment has sent shockwaves through the Capitol, as Bolton has long been a fixture in the corridors of American power. For decades, Bolton has been a key architect of U.S. foreign policy, recognized for his uncompromising, hawkish stance on national security. He's been a controversial figure, admired by some for his tough approach and criticized by others for his aggressive tactics. His influence has shaped major decisions on war, diplomacy, and intelligence. Bolton's most high-profile role came as National Security Advisor to President Trump, a position he held from April 2018 to September 2019. In this role, he was at the epicenter of American power, privy to the nation's most sensitive secrets and daily intelligence briefings. Now, a federal grand jury in Maryland has indicted him on 18 counts under the Espionage Act, a law reserved for the gravest breaches of national security. The legal documents detail a complex case that could have far-reaching implications. The political world is in turmoil. Lawmakers, analysts, and the public are all grappling with the implications as questions swirl about how classified information is handled at the highest levels of government. The stakes could not be higher. For Bolton, a man whose entire career was built on defending American interests and shaping security policy, these accusations mark a stunning and dramatic reversal of fortune. The irony is not lost on anyone. To truly grasp the magnitude of this case, we must first understand the extraordinary responsibility and trust that John Bolton once held at the very heart of American government. To grasp the gravity of the charges, we first need to understand what classified documents are and why they matter so much to national security. These aren't just ordinary papers. They represent the most closely guarded secrets of the United States government, and their protection is a matter of life and death for intelligence operations, military strategy, and diplomatic relations. Classified information is the government's most sensitive data, secrets that, if exposed, could gravely damage national security. This could mean revealing the identities of undercover agents, exposing military plans, or compromising ongoing investigations. There are three main levels: confidential, secret, and top secret, each indicating the potential harm that unauthorized disclosure could cause. Confidential information might cause damage, secret could cause serious damage, and top secret could cause exceptionally grave damage to the nation. Some top secret information is even more tightly controlled, known as SCI, sensitive compartmented information. Access to SCI is limited to only a select few, and it's often kept in special secure rooms called SCIFs, where even electronic devices are banned. Only those with proper clearance and a demonstrated need to know can access these materials. Clearance isn't just a badge, it's a responsibility, and it's granted only after thorough background checks. The rules for handling classified documents are strict. They must be stored in secure facilities, never taken home, and always tracked. Even a momentary lapse can have serious consequences. Sharing classified information with unauthorized individuals, even accidentally, is strictly forbidden. Security protocols are in place to prevent leaks at every step. Security clearances come with lifelong legal obligations to protect this information. Officials swear oaths and sign agreements, knowing that the duty to safeguard secrets never truly ends. When officials like Bolton take office, they are entrusted with the nation's highest secrets. This trust is the foundation of the entire security system. Any breach, intentional or negligent, is a major violation. Even small mistakes can have ripple effects that endanger lives or compromise missions. The indictment alleges Bolton repeatedly broke this trust by mishandling some of the country's most vital secrets, raising alarms throughout the intelligence community. This is why the charges are so severe. The legal system treats these violations with utmost seriousness, as the stakes are incredibly high. The case is being watched closely, as it tests the very system designed to protect America's security. The outcome could set a precedent for how future breaches are handled. At its core, this is about whether the nation's most sensitive information was put at risk, and whether the safeguards meant to protect it are strong enough to withstand real-world challenges. Let's break down the allegations. Bolton faces 18 counts under the Espionage Act, grouped into two main accusations: illegally sharing national defense information, and unlawfully keeping classified documents at his home after leaving office. Prosecutors allege this wasn't a one-time mistake, but a pattern of behavior spanning from his time as National Security Advisor through at least August 2025. 8 counts involve transmitting secrets, 10 involve retaining them. Each count carries up to 10 years in prison. The government must prove Bolton knew the information was classified and acted willfully. At the heart of the case, did Bolton abuse his position, treating government secrets as personal property? The prosecution argues his actions were not just careless, but criminal. The stakes are nothing less than the security of the United States. One of the most serious accusations is that Bolton shared classified information with unauthorized individuals. Prosecutors say he transmitted over 1,000 pages of sensitive material to his wife and daughter, who lacked security clearances. The context? Editing his writings, possibly for a book. This suggests a routine, personal use of national secrets, a central point in the prosecution's case. Even more alarming, Bolton allegedly used a personal AOL email account to send this information, an egregious violation of security protocols. In 2021, that account was hacked by an Iranian-linked actor, and Bolton reportedly failed to disclose that it contained classified material. Prosecutors argue this exposed U.S. secrets to a hostile foreign power. The method and the breach itself are at the core of the government's argument. The case hinges on whether Bolton's actions directly endangered national security. The second major charge against Bolton centers on the illegal retention of classified documents, an accusation that strikes at the heart of national security protocols and the responsibilities of public officials. When officials leave office, they are required by law to return all classified materials. These documents are not personal property. They belong to the government and, by extension, to the American people. This process ensures that sensitive information remains protected and is not exposed to unnecessary risk. In the summer of 2025, after months of investigation, FBI agents executed search warrants at both Bolton's home and his office. During these searches, they seized numerous documents that were clearly marked as classified, some of which had been missing from government archives for months. Among the seized materials were papers reportedly related to weapons of mass destruction, some of the most sensitive and closely guarded intelligence the United States possesses. The presence of such documents outside secure government facilities is considered a grave breach. Storing this level of classified information at home is not just a technical violation, it's a direct threat to national security. Such actions could potentially expose critical secrets to foreign adversaries or unauthorized individuals. Prosecutors will argue that Bolton, with his decades of experience in government and national security, was fully aware of these rules. They claim he knowingly disregarded repeated warnings and chose to ignore established protocols. The law is clear. Simply possessing classified documents in an unauthorized location constitutes a crime, regardless of whether there was any intent to distribute or share the information. The evidence in this case is tangible and compelling. Boxes of documents, each tagged and cataloged by investigators, now sit at the center of the government's case against Bolton. Ultimately, the question for the court and the public is this: did Bolton put his own convenience or interests above the safety and security of the nation he once served? What secrets were allegedly compromised? The indictment details highly sensitive information, including top-secret SCI material. Topics ranged from future U.S. military operations and adversary missile plans to covert action programs and intelligence sources. Leaking such information could expose American plans, endanger lives, and undermine military operations. Some documents reportedly revealed how the U.S. collects intelligence and identified foreign agents working with America. The exposure of these secrets could destroy intelligence networks and put lives at risk. The indictment also alleges that information shared by foreign allies was compromised. Such breaches can shatter trust with partners and damage international relationships for years. The gravity of the case lies in the potential real-world consequences of these leaks. This is not just about paperwork. It's about national and global security. In response, top officials have stressed that no one is above the law. FBI Director Kash Patel called the investigation meticulous and evidence-driven, warning that justice will be served against anyone who threatens national security. Attorney General Pamela Bondi emphasized equal justice, stating that power does not excuse abuse. The government frames this as a matter of national security, not politics. President Trump, when asked, called Bolton a bad guy, reflecting their long-standing animosity. While the Department of Justice insists the case is about the law, the political backdrop is impossible to ignore. The public is left to weigh the facts against a complex political history. Bolton and his legal team are fighting back, calling the indictment political revenge. Defense attorney Abby Lowell claims the charges are retaliation for Bolton's criticism of President Trump, pointing to past efforts to block Bolton's memoir. They argue the documents in question were personal diaries, not classified records. If true, this could undermine the government's entire case. Bolton insists he's the victim of a politicized justice system and looks forward to clearing his name in court. The defense will highlight other recent indictments of Trump critics, arguing a pattern of political targeting. This strategy sets the stage for a dramatic legal and political battle. The outcome could hinge on whether the jury sees Bolton as a criminal or a political target. The stakes extend far beyond one man. This case is about more than John Bolton. It's a test of accountability. Will a former national security advisor be treated like any other citizen? The indictment forces a reckoning over how Washington handles classified information. A conviction could lead to stricter enforcement and training across government. The case also impacts America's relationships with its allies, who must trust the U.S. to protect shared secrets. Breaches like this can erode that trust, making future cooperation harder. Rebuilding confidence will be a challenge, no matter the verdict. In summary, Bolton stands accused of compromising the very secrets he was sworn to protect. The government calls it criminal misconduct. Bolton calls it political persecution. The outcome will shape how America guards its most vital secrets for years to come.